Our final speaker is Luke Ball. Just code for him. Luke is an Old Xaverian, and we're very proud of his achievements. And after completing his studies at Xavier College, he was selected number 2 in the 2001 AFL National Draft, which was known as the Super Draft, along with draft picks Luke Hodge and Chris Judd, all of whom captained their club, became Old Australians and premiership players. Luke was awarded club captain, club best and fairest, All Australian, premiership player in his decorated career of 223 games. Luke played for 2 clubs. From 2003 to 2009, he played 142 games with the St Kilda Football Club, where he was captain in 2007, best and fairest in All Australian in 2005. He played for the Collingwood Football Club from 2010 to 2014, winning a premiership in 2010. He is one of the only players in AFL history to have played in 4 consecutive grand finals for 2 clubs, for St Kilda in 2009 and for Collingwood in 2010, the 2010 replay and 2011. He probably wouldn't have played 2011 if he didn't kick it in that last quarter against Hawthorn in the Premier to get him there, so well done, Luke. Since retiring from football, Luke's continued his association with the football industry in roles with the AFL and also with the Essendon Football Club before his recent appointment at Partners Wealth Group. Please join me in welcoming Luke Ball.
Thanks Paul, and thanks everyone. It's certainly a great honour and thrill to share the stage with some amazing people who I only met for the first time tonight, but I live here in Australia, the Australian of the Year. Perhaps I should have gone first, Paul. I've got some notes and slides. I don't do a lot of speaking. In fact, the last time I was in front of a microphone was a couple of weeks ago at my brother's 40th. That got mixed reviews. So we'll see how we go. But it's a great thing that I think that the club in partnership with the council is doing. As I said, Paul, thanks for inviting me to be a part of it. How do you think about what to talk about? As Paul mentioned, on an Old Xav, a proud Old Xav, and given they're the co-hosts of the night, I thought I'd touch on that. And Paul, you also mentioned the Jesuit ethos of being a man, a woman, being a person to others, and I thought I'd start there. I was asked recently at the Say Goodbye to Cosca Day, so the day where I went from grade 5 to grade 8. I was asked what I thought the most important takeaways were from my time at Xavier, and whilst I certainly reminisce fondly with friends, some of whom are here tonight, of battles on the sporting field and many long-lasting friendships. I think 20 years on, I keep coming back to this idea of being a man for others, and I think that's the most important takeaway. And with everything that's going on in the world at the moment, without getting too far down that path, I think again, that's the legacy that I hope that I take away from my time there. But I think we heard it frequently. There's a lot of Old Xav boys in the room tonight. I think we heard it frequently during our time there, but I suspect I was too busy worrying about making runs and getting a kick on the footy field and who we're going to hang out with on the weekend to really appreciate it as anything more than a catchphrase. But as I said, it's taken a lot more meaning as the years have gone, and now I have kids of my own. It's a daily challenge. I think those with kids in here or with partners or all of us will know that like all of them, especially for kids, being a man and woman for others comes with a job title. Of course, there's some days where all you want to do is worry about yourself and be selfish. I think that's okay. It's not mutually exclusive with being a man for others, but I think like most things in life, finding the balance is the key. I We all probably know people who find being a person for others second nature. For me, it started at home with my mum, who just seemed to do it and still does it really naturally, and provided a great example to follow for us as kids. And I think on the flip side, we probably all know people who perhaps don't do it so naturally and find it a lot easier to think and worry about themselves. We don't have to look too far at the moment, obviously, to find examples of it everywhere. Unfortunately, most of the time at the moment it's in reaction to crisis. But a couple of things that caught my eye, and you probably can't see that, well, certainly the one on the left that well, but sometimes they're in the form of breadcrumbs and you have to look a little bit harder to find, and other times with the proliferation of media these days, it's ran down their throat a bit. But this one caught my eye today, and again, unfortunately, that's as a result of such tragedy. But you can see that's child prayers that were left at the station by Polish parents for Ukrainian mums who obviously fled the country and perhaps were to arrive at the station with kids. Small thing perhaps, but amazing example of being a person for others. And of course, closer to home, in recent times, the terrible situation we had more than friends that are going through up with the floods, and what an incredible number. And when we're asked as Australians, I think, to think of others and give ourselves of others, these are some of the reactions that we have. So, as I said, there are examples that are more obvious, and other times you have to look a little bit harder. I want to show a little video that some of you might be familiar with. It's from probably now my favourite little TV series, written and directed by my favourite comedian, Old Xaverians, who can be a lot of things. It can be a bit rude and crass and abrupt at times, but actually I think he's also a genius. And the basic premise of the show is a little bit morbid. So this is the character here whose wife's unfortunately passed away, and he really can't contemplate life without her. And he goes through this process of really trying to figure out whether it's worth going on. I'll play this again, listening for those little breadcrumbs, little nuggets that stand, that jump out. Great show. Does anyone know? She's an amazing character. Does anyone know what she's about to say? Anyone know what that was? I've watched it a few times. So this is another woman who's lost her husband. So they find each other, and I'll read it out. She's just got this amazing way of articulating why life is worth living. So, making your little corner of the world a slightly better place. So some people aim to make great big corners of the world much better places, but if we all aim to make our little corner of the world, it's a good start. Happiness is amazing. It's so amazing, it doesn't matter if it's yours or not. So regardless of what's happening in your life, be happy for people and what's happening in theirs. And the final one is good people do things for other people. That's it. The end. Linking back to being a man for others. Pretty simple stuff, but really resonated, I think. And as I said, in a show that's full of other meaning, I thought it was really powerful stuff. I think he's a genius. Switching tacks, one of the best things about playing elite sport that I was lucky to do for 31 years is, and that I still see now, is the ability to put this ethos into practice. And again, I think we see it so often, and without getting morbid again, I think Shane Bourne, for all the respects and obituaries that are poured out over the last few weeks I've got 80 stars, Jagger, Shearer, all those, and Legions of Sport. For mine, the stories of him going out of his way to help people, young people, away from the campus, less fortunate, they're the things that stand out to me, and they're I think, that's his most powerful legacy. From my point of view, in terms of takeaway from my footy career, and I get asked that a fair bit, it was a little bit quirky, as Paul said, the circumstances around the two clubs that I played at. What were the greatest takeaways for me? Well, mateships. So, some unbelievable friendships that I gained over that time. One of whom is now my brother-in-law, so I'll say a little bit too much of him now, but met him first when I first walked to the door to St Kilda. I think the hardships that you go through, the injuries, the setbacks, that felt that don't have much fun at the time, but you certainly learn from, help shape you as a person. And if you're lucky enough, which I was, to be part of a premiership and whatever I'm really is playing the team sport for. But for me, the photo on the left, there's a reason why it's bigger than these three. And again, getting a bit older now and having kids of my own, this is the one I come back to now. So this is 2013, this is young Jess. So the lead up to my turn of the game. I didn't get a lot of fan mail, to be honest, growing up, and I was more than happy with that. There were some bigger name players that I used to play with that used to get more of the attention, but for some reason, maybe number 12 was her favourite number. For some reason, young Jess reached out to me and wrote a letter, and it came through the club that she was doing it pretty tough. She was going through chemotherapy and suffering from leukemia. And I guess this is one of my, or a moment where I had a chance to be a man for others. And I went to see her at the hospital, took her a little jumper, and she was bright-eyed, as you see there, beautiful smile. You wouldn't know that she was doing it tough. And there was about 6 weeks to go for the first interview. Well, I haven't cleared with the club, but I'd love everyone out and didn't have kids at that time. I'd love everyone out and run through the game with me. And sure enough, she did, and I don't know who it was, but someone captured that photo there. And for me, looking back at some of these photos, that for me now is the highlight. The ability to have an impact on people's lives through something pretty small, really. But in reality, the impact that she's had and that she's had now, and last year I got an invitation to go to her birthday. She's nice and healthy and happy young woman. So those things, and I think people in these positions now, I think in general will do a fantastic job doing that. They're the things that stand with me and stick with me. As Paul said, my most recent role in footy was with Essendon in a sort of culture, leadership and development role with the younger players. And I thought I'd share, just to finish up, one of the exercises that we took the playing group through. I was talking with Pat earlier. I think even in 20 years, in my time in footy, the stigma attached to mental health has changed a lot. Back when I started, if you needed to go and see the sports site, perhaps you were a little bit weak. It was there on standby if you needed it, but more often than not, you'll be right. Suck it up. Certainly don't tell the coaches because you might not get picked, but you'll be right. Whereas 20 years on now, I think the investment in the club's really seen the difference, the competitive advantages that can be gained from mental skills and mental strength of their players. I mean, physical skills, everyone's got a gym, everyone's got a training program. The difference can be in the mental skills, and so Essendon appointed a really, really good mental skills coach. And even that changing of the reframing the title from being a sports side, which it was, to being a mental skills coach, even that small thing changed the mindset of the players. It took a little while, but after his first year, he became as important as the S&C coach. And the players would go out on the track, they'd go in the physical gym, and then built into the program, they'd come in the mental gym. And one by one, it was driven by the leaders, but one by one the players accepted the fact and saw the value they were getting out of this. And I worked pretty closely with him, and one of the exercises that we took the playing group through at the start of one pre-season was just around this idea of creating your purpose statement. And Jamal, you sort of touched on a bit with those words at the end of your presentation, but what seemed like a simple exercise was actually quite challenging for 44 young guys. And I did it as well, and it was quite challenging. The idea of just taking a bit of time out, and it starts with self-reflection. Not something that we do very, very naturally. We're not going to do this today, but I think this is something that perhaps, particularly you young guys, could give a go over the coming weeks. It doesn't take any time. And as you can see, it was right down 20 words that describe you at your best. So think about you at your best and write down those words. And be honest. Don't be too humble. You don't have to be too humble. Write down 25 words. I just get to about 10 and then started to struggle. And I was in the same boat. And the next step is once you have those 25, start to cut that list down. Start to be ruthless and cut that down to the top 5 that resonated strongest with you. And if you need a bit of help with that, and most did, I certainly did, text someone and tell them about the exercise you're doing. Text someone who knows you intimately and ask them to text back 5 words to see if it helps you out. And even that was interesting. I texted Mark and I texted my wife. We got 2 pretty different answers, to be honest. Which one knows me better? But two pretty different answers. But even that was, again, perhaps young males who don't like to talk about it, don't like to get to this sort of stuff. Even that exercise was interesting to go through. And then finally arrange those 5 words into a sentence, articulating how you want to live your life. And really the process was aimed at helping the players try and find a succinct way of describing the principles that would guide their life, both on and off the field. A refined purpose statement becoming a filter that you push all your thoughts through. And as I said, they bought in. It wasn't a one-off session. It took them a while. Over the course of the pre-season, all of them worked their way to a position where they were able to stand up and share how they wanted to be seen, how they wanted to live their life with their teammates. And the other part of that sharing that purpose statement with their teammates was really powerful. So that was a couple of years ago. I checked in with the mental skills coach was still there the other day, and they're still, it's an ongoing process. They're still very much using that, they're still referring to it, they're still helping their players. And they're all different too, they're all very, very different as to how they came out. But it helped give each player, teammate, a deeper understanding of what made their teammates tick. And I think we'll start to see the results come from it. It's not going to guarantee them success, obviously, but I think we'll start to see, I think we did start to see over the last year or so some of the results to come from that. So that was something that you can memorise and have a play around with after tonight. I'll finish up. Really flat the video didn't work, but maybe go home and YouTube it. Afterlife. It's a great series. Great guy, happiness is amazing. So amazing, it doesn't matter if it's yours or not. You can be competitive. You can still want to be the best you can be, but even if things aren't going well for you, being happy for other people will hold you instead. Good people do good things for other people. That's it. I was lucky to go through a school that really tried to instill that in their students, and whilst I'm still, I'd like to think, still got a bit of growth left in me, that's something that I try and still working. And that last piece around self-reflection, taking the time out of our busy days, everyone's busy, but taking the time out to get down who you are at your best and work your way through reshaping shaping a statement that might become a filter to push your thoughts through and get yourself through. I'll leave it at that. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, everyone.